we're going to read today. And we're going to cover 6, 7, 8, and 9, which is this first page here, and then we're getting this other page over here. Enoch is like 3 books, really small, but a lot of stuff. So each day we'll cover at least 1 page, which is a lot of reading for me because this chapter 10 here is a big bunch of stuff, and then it gets smaller, but we're going to cover part of this and then get into the rest of it later. Okay. Chapter 6, an Enoch. And it comes to pass, when the children of man had multiplied, that in these days were born to them, because an active daughters and the messengers, the children of the heaven saw, and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come and let us choose wives or otherwise from among the children of man, and beget children for ourselves. And Simjas, who was there leading, and said to them, Indeed, I fear you will not agree to do this deed, and I also will have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by multiple inheritance not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then they all swore together and bound themselves by multiple and voted 200 in all, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Horizon, and they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by multiple inheritance on it. And there are the names of their leaders. Their leaders are Simagina and Archibella, Ramanel, and Cobello, Temple, Rebel, Daniel, Ezekiel. Okay, some of those names I don't know, and some of them I do know. They do talk about Ezekiel and the Bible. What's the name I do know? Skip all the names, we'll go down to 7, because we got a little bit to cover, and then I'm going to crash for tonight. And all the others took wives to themselves together with them, and each chosen one for themselves, and they began to go into them and to identify themselves with them, and they touched the charms, and each and the cutting of the roof, and made with cutting of the roof and made them acquainted with plants, and they become pregnant, and they in their it gets great great nose heights was 3,000 eels, who commenced all the of men, and then men longer seeing them, the giants turned against them and divorced mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to discover one another's flesh, and drink the blood. Then each leper as Cushman against the lawless one. And Ezekiel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and make known to them the mention of each and the craft of working him, and ornaments, and the use of anointing, and the beautifully defying of the eyelids and all, and they arise much godliness, and they committed foundation, and they were led astray, and become corporate in all their ways. So Medina taught in the and root cutting, amidst the renouncing of each headsman, taught knowledge of the clouds, Ariel the sign of the earth, Sheminal sign of the sun, and Cherlin the cause of the moon. And has men perished, they cried and went up to heaven. Okay. I think I'm going to call that, because this one is... oh my gosh. because I am getting tired in his date. We'll pick up at 9 tomorrow. We did the 9:10, which is very long, and I'll try to get on here earlier so that I won't be so yawny. Sorry about that. I got on here late. Hope you all are having a good night. And God bless.